Because of what Camron has done, the hip-hop world is currently in a state of chaos. Yes, you heard correctly. The internet has already been rocked by the supposed release of a private film of Jim Jones, which was made public by the renowned Harlem rapper known for his slick lyrics and harsh honesty. This isn't another little social media insult. This hidden sarcasm is different. This is blatant betrayal. The kind of action that, in front of the entire world, tears up a decades-long friendship, fraternity, and famous Dipset legacy. After seeing snippets of the video, fans are immediately declaring it a career-ending moment. Others, however, claim that after years of covert hostility, envy, and backdoor feud within Dipset, this is simply Camron finally getting retribution. Using hashtags like #GMXexposed, social media is exploding. And #can we have been controlling timelines all along? Here's the real kicker though. According to insiders, the video shows considerably more private moments, delicate circumstances, and information that might completely upend Jim Jones' reputation than he ever intended for the world to witness. If that's the case, then this spill is disastrous, not just messy. What precisely is on the tape? Then, why would Camron jeopardize everything in order to reveal his brother? And is this the last straw that will destroy Dipset's already shaky legacy? 2. You must comprehend the lengthy, convoluted, and complex history between Camron and Jim Jones in order to really appreciate the extent of this treachery. There was more to their relationship than music. It dealt with brotherhood, camaraderie, Harlem pride, and, in the end, the rifts that developed inside one of hip-hop's biggest famous crews. Camron and Jim Jones were intertwined during the early 2000s Dip's rise. They created the diplomats known as Dipset, along with Dwells, Santana, and Freaky Zicky. They set trends with their unabashed Harlem energy, distinctive flair, and larger-than-life personalities. Dipset was more than just a rap trio, as seen by their pink fur jackets and bandanas knotted around fitting caps. It was a shift in culture. The frontman, Camron, was a clever songwriter with a keen sense of humor. Jim Jones was the street general and devoted enforcer who ensured the crew's presence both on and off the microphone. They were brothers in arms for years. But even the strongest ties can be broken by ego, fame, and wealth. Backstage, the cracks start to appear. There was simmering tension. Jim's ambition was frequently overshadowed by Camron's leadership. Jim desired greater control, influence, and recognition. He had no desire to remain the sidekick indefinitely. Fans also began to notice the change. Jim was gradually establishing his own personality, while Cam was the center of attention, giving up solo endeavors and gaining legitimacy away from Cam's shadow. We Fly High, his 2006 single, became a national anthem. Suddenly, Dipset's muscle became a star in his own right. At that point, things began to fall apart. Public disputes and unpleasant splits. Dipset was in disarray by the end of the 2000s. After referring to one another as brothers, Camron and Jim Jones started publicly making fun of one another. Subliminal photos, interviews, and diss tunes. Bitterness has taken the place of the affection. Jim was accused of treachery by Cam. Jim charged Cam with being and after being unified under Dipset, Harlem split. Supporters took sides. Every slur was devoured by blogs. What was once among the most powerful hip-hop, although they eventually got back together, brotherhoods became a soap opera. Insiders always understood that trust was lost when it came to tours and nostalgic performances. On stage, the smiles were for the cameras. In private, the wounds never went away. Why it seems inevitable that this leak will occur. Fans weren't very shocked though, when it was revealed that Camron had leaked a private film of Jim Jones, horrified at the act's savagery. Indeed, but taken aback. Not at all. Bh, because rumors circulated for years that Cam had receipts. There were rumors that he had hidden away documents, anecdotes, and intimate encounters, waiting for the ideal opportunity to utilize them. And if Cam has ever been anything, it's strategic in his pettiness. However, this is more than just pettiness. It's burnt earth. The video that no one anticipated. What's on the tape? Then, insiders say it's embarrassing and very personal, though reports differ. According to some, it depicts Jim in a precarious position. Whatever it is, the video is enough to have the internet buzzing. Industry insiders murmuring, and Jim's camp apparently in complete panic. Others claim it shows behind-the-scenes events that portray him in a very different light from the rough, street-hardened persona fans know. The worst part is still to come. It has not been denied by Camron. His enigmatic social media posts, smiling emoticons, subtle comments, and cunning Harlem smooth language actually give the impression that he is fully aware of what he has done. The treachery goes deep. Beef is no longer the only factor in this. This is about betrayal that turns into brotherhood. There was more to Cam and Jim than just rap. They were related. Together, they transformed hip-hop, endured industry politics, and established an empire, culture, and fashion for all time. And Cam has now jeopardized all of that in one cruel move. This is where it becomes even more bizarre, though the footage we've seen may not even be the worst of it. According to insiders, that Camron possesses more footage, receipts, and other data hidden away. and that this leak was only the first salvo in a much larger conflict. What follows could make this seem like child's play if that's the case. Overnight, the leak hit like a nuclear bomb. What began as rumors in barbershops in Harlem and intriguing Instagram photos escalated into a major controversy that paralyzed the hip-hop community. Not only were Camron and Jim Jones's words popular, they were taking over every blog, group chat, and platform. A video that Camron allegedly released himself was at the heart of it all. Fans who had a glimpse of the video referred to it as the end of Dipset because it was so intimate and unvarnished. Early in the morning, the leaked video surfaced on a dubious hip-hop rumor website. Just a movie of Jim Jones in an environment that no one ever sees, with no watermark or explanation anticipated to observe. Some claim that it depicted him in a precarious scenario with individuals who were not part of his marriage. Others maintain that it exposed private exchanges in which Jim made admissions that may have ruined his reputation on the street. In actuality, no one is yet fully aware of the story, but the tidbits were sufficient to ignite the internet. Told y'all, I keep receipts. The timing was too perfect to be a coincidence. Camron's mysterious Instagram story, which included laughing emojis, was shared minutes after the video went viral. By the afternoon, Jim Jones was furious. Jim Jones was unable to remain silent and went live on Instagram, his cheeks flushed and his voice trembling with anger. I'm not sure who finds this amusing, but it's cheesy to release private information in intimate film like that. He never explicitly mentioned Camon's name, but fans understood precisely who he was referring to, so he didn't need to. Snake behavior, and if it's who I think it is, you dead to me. This is worse than Jay and Dame. WE then 50NG unit. Jim's live ended abruptly, leaving more questions than answers. A segment of his show flooded fast. Cam, did you dirty bro? Dipset is now over. Fans split in real time, but the damage was already done. The fan base was ripped apart overnight, with some defending Camron and claiming Jim had been disloyal for years and deserved it, while others attacked Cam, for Cam was the brains and Jim was the muscle. When the brother code was broken and private information was revealed, Twitter erupted in arguments. Without Cam, the story took a new turn just when people believed it couldn't get any worse. Screenshots purportedly from Jim Jones' private group chat started making the rounds, displaying angry texts aimed at Camon that said, I remained silent for years. Don't force me to speak. You believe that you are the only person having receipts. I bet ya won't be pleased when your company goes online. Jim was threatening to retaliate with his own leaks, escalating this feud into a full-fledged war of receipts if the screenshots were authentic. Blogs jumped on it right away, referring to it as the Harlem Civil War, and fans prepared for even more. Other rappers couldn't help but join 050 Cent, who is known for trolling, and posted a meme of Camon wearing a pink fur coat with the message, dirt to be dragged out. The industry reacted. Fab tweeted, sad dude. This Dipset scenario. Instagram drama is erasing legacy. During a podcast, even Fat Joe made a comment. We saw the establishment of an empire by these brothers. Seeing it fall apart over a video, the industry said, that's a Greek tragedy. Was divided. Everyone agreed, though some chuckled and others cautioned. It was more than simply beef. This was treachery. Why Jim Jones wasn't simply a rap partner and why this seemed so personal. They were related. Together, they had experienced poverty, hard work, prosperity, and celebrity. They shared grief, dreams, money, and stages. This is the reason this leak is so severe. Fans believe they are seeing the public murder of two brothers, and Camron's quiet just serves to confirm the notion that he has no regrets about it. Especially when combined with his cryptic posts, this is where it gets complicated again. Though, according to insiders, Camron apparently has other recordings and files stowed away, and the leaked film was only part one. Additionally, Cam may reveal much worse footage if Jim continues to fire back. Footage that might permanently damage Jim's reputation, humiliate his family, and kill his career. Now, the question is not only why Cam did this, but also what more he is concealing. Are we going to see a turf war in Harlem where both men burn all they built together if Jim Jones is indeed caught on camera with dirt? The hip-hop community believed they had seen it all. However, they were completely mistaken, due to the fact that Camron leaking a confidential Jim Jones video swiftly turned into something much more significant, sinister, and damaging than anyone could have predicted. This was no longer a mere Harlem quarrel. This was a full-scale conflict, and there was a fresh twist every hour. The moment Jim's irate Instagram Live finished, the internet went crazy. Social media took off. Every frame of the leaked video was analyzed by everyone from major hip-hop bloggers to Twitter trolls. Was Jim intoxicated? Was he manipulated? Did he do it himself? Another remarked, this is Dipset versus Dipset, and nobody wins. Next came the memes. One of the most popular tweets said, Camron pressed upload and Harlem hasn't been the same since. Fans had hardly had time to calm off before repurposing Barron Trump cliches for Jim Jones. One film showed Jim declaring, "We fly high," while Cam hit a laptop key marked leak. Then, things took a turn for the worst, and the second clip appeared out of nowhere. Jim Jones was heard on the phone in a second stolen video, apparently discussing behind-the-scenes issues with industry heavyweights, including Dipset. In the film, Jim allegedly disparaged several rappers, calling one washed, another false street, and even implying private agreements that had never been reached, whether authentic or altered. The public's reaction was damaging. Blogs devoured it, headlines roared, and Jim Jones was discovered disparaging rappers in recently obtained audio. Camron releases Part 2. Industry secrets revealed, Dipset legacy in freefall following fresh footage. And if the first video made Jim feel personally ashamed, the second one threatened to destroy his industry connections. At this point, celebrities begin to take sides, intensified even further, with some rappers who were named in the purported leak reacting angrily and others creating their own memes. Meek Mill tweeted, "You can't trust anyone in this game. Fake love is everywhere." SMH 50 Cent shared Cam received seasons worth of content, and Jadakiss went live and just shook his head, saying, "Harlem, this is horrible, bro." All of a sudden, it wasn't just Cam versus Jim, the entire industry was watching, and the second leak upset Jim in a way that fans had never witnessed. And on another Instagram live, his voice cracked with wrath. "This man is attempting to ruin me. I was secretly hoping for more information to drop." The comments came in like bullets. "Destroy my family. Destroy everything I built. For what? Clout reviews. You were my brother. You were supposed to protect me, not expose me." For a man who had always exuded toughness, loyalty, and Harlem grit, this is far worse than Jay versus Dame. Jim was crying live, and Cam made him feel shook. It was a heartbreaking moment. Instead of just smiling, fans were watching a brotherhood perish on TV. The surprising revelation, followed by the unexpected turn of events. A hip-hop blogger said that the leaks were not haphazard. Rather, they were premeditated. Sources claim that Camron had been hoarding a folder of Jim Jones' film for years, waiting for the proper opportunity to strike, which was purportedly connected to money, treachery, and an old Dipset deal. The blogger's disclosure that Cam was upset over royalties, past management issues, and even personal slights, and that the leaked tape was his attempt of exacting retribution in a Harlem fashion, completely changed the course of events. Fans respond to the twist, which suddenly moved the conversation from Jim's embarrassment to Cam's motivations. Was it legacy, ego, or money that had vanished behind the scenes? Cam has been waiting years to work out like this. That's diabolical. If it's about money, just say it. Don't ruin 20 years of brotherhood over it. Social media exploded once more. Even the Dipset followers who had previously praised Cam began to question him, saying things such, "Yes, Jim had said slick things in the past. And yes, their friendship had cracks, but planning leaks for years. Harlem Joker, dude, just want to watch the world burn." The consequences spread, and by this point, Dipset's legacy was in ruins. According to reports, concert producers started canceling reunion gigs. Brand deals dried up, and blogs conjectured about lawsuits. That was betrayal of the highest kind. Worse. According to insiders, Jim Jones was apparently drafting his own receipts and was no longer sitting quietly as he had threatened in those screenshots. It was also reported that Jim had dirt on camera and that Harlem might never recover if he dumped it. The world has witnessed Cam go nuclear, the Jim collapse, and Harlem split in two. But the most scary part is that insiders claim there are more films. A fraternity that was once thought to be untouchable has been reduced to leaking footage, sobbing lives, and whispered threats. Still in prison, some portray Jim in a more negative light, while others claim that Cam is involved. If Jim retaliates, it could expose both men in ways that no one is prepared for. So the backlash from Camon's alleged leak of Jim Jones' private film rocked not just Harlem, but the whole hip-hop business. The streets, fans, bloggers, and legends all had something to say. And the question now isn't if Dipset is finished, but rather, who will drop the next bomb? And the reactions were as explosive as the footage itself. Harlem in shock. The first and loudest voices came from Harlem itself. The conversation was the same in barbershops, bodeas, and street corners. Older heads who grew up seeing Dipset go from Lenox Avenue to international prominence felt deceived. This wasn't just entertainment. Dipset was a symbol of unity, style, and swagger in Harlem, and they were watching their monarchs turn against one another. How could Cam do things like that? Felt like a personal injury. According to a local radio show, one Harlem original said, "Brotherhood, man, Cam lifted Jim up." And in leaked video, Jim held Cam down to watch it end. That's not Harlem. That's some Hollywood asterisk. Fans from all over the internet and social media disagreed, with younger Harlem fans standing up for Cam, claiming that Jim had treated him disrespectfully for years and that karma had finally caught him. Fans joked on Twitter that Dipset Court TV would replace the reunion tours, and Instagram was overrun with images of Kim typing on a laptop with a caption. The comments were even more crazy. The developers of the TikTok app, Upload King of Harlem, recreated Jim's furious Instagram live, making fun of his emotional breakdown, but below the humor, Dips claimed fans who grew up on Oh Boy and We Fly High couldn't believe this is where the legacy had arrived. Comments like as we see Jay and Dame's relationship deteriorate, breakdown of a 50 NG unit, but this one stings the most. Cam and Jim, it's not just a beef. It's a family company that has become a circus. According to legends, the chaos compelled game veterans to voice their opinions. I love both of these brothers, but this is foul. Fat Joe stated on his show. Harlem ought to have handled this internally. Legacy is ruined by leaks. Snoop Dogg shared a video on mysterious footage of him saying, "Brothers don't do brothers like that," while shaking his head. Naturally, 50 Cent continued to trot and shared another meme. Dipset received more leaks than the White House. And even Jay-Z's team allegedly called insiders to say that Hobb was then followed the post that sent fans into a frenzy. Jim Jones posted a black screen on Instagram with the single sentence, "Harlem ain't ready for my side of the story. I was dismayed to see two Harlem legends airing themselves." He erased it in a matter of minutes. But by that time, screenshots had already gone viral. And fans took it as a direct warning that Jim was prepared to burn the world if Cam released that third clip. Cam's countermove was not to be outdone. "It's funny how everyone is pleading with me to relax. And how everyone is afraid of what I might post. And how everyone is afraid of what I might post." A few days later, Camron went live on Instagram, smirking while sipping a drink. He didn't mention Jim's name, but the message was clear. "You guys don't even know the half. Believe me, I would have hit the upload button sooner if I truly wanted to stop it." The responses were crazy. Watch the third tape, which shows Cam holding Harlem captive. Here's the current situation. Camron supposedly has a third unreleased clip that might complete. Jim Jones. Jim better hope this man doesn't get bored. It was psychological warfare, not just beef anymore. Harlem is being torn apart, the industry is anxious, and the fans are ferocious, awaiting the next upload as Jim Jones suggests that he has dirt on camera that may destroy him in return. Which bomb will drop first? One thing is certain, the next move might determine not just Dipset's destiny, but also whether Harlem's noblest history endures or burns to ashes. Will Cam destroy Jim's entire career with another leak? Or will Jim respond with his own receipts, pulling Cam into the muck with him? The most terrifying aspect is that the actual video hasn't even been released yet. But here it is, the Dipset legacy dangling by a thread, with Camron releasing private film of Jim Jones. The second clip rocked the industry, and there were rumors of a third clip that may end it all. Jim's terrifying, not just a fight, not just Harlem drama, but a full-fledged battle of secrets that may ruin not just the reputation of a movement that helped to mold hip-hop culture forever. And he's got his own receipts, locked and loaded. The real question now is, where does this end? Do you believe Camron will hit upload again and release the nuclear footage that everyone has been speculating about? Or will Jim hit first, exposing Cam in ways that completely upend the story? I need your opinion in the comments section right now. Which side are you on? Team Cam using receipts to defend himself? Are two Harlem giants even doing this? Or are they destroying a heritage that should be honored rather than destroyed for the amusement of the internet? If you're stunned that the Dipset's brotherhood has reached this point, hit the like button. After years of treachery, or Team Jim, the brother who believes that loyalty should never be broken. Regardless of the beef, drop your theories, predictions, and your hottest takes because, believe me, this story is far from over. This isn't just hip-hop history, so hit subscribe to ensure you don't miss the next chapter in this Harlem epic and turn on those alerts because you'll want to be right here when the next clip arrives. Whether it's Jim's retaliation or Cam's third video, this is a tragedy in hip-hop, taking place in real time. Additionally, the following move, it might make all the difference.